So we've done a couple of these ranking episodes where we asked you to submit your strangest, wildest, guiltiest of pleasures. And we've seen a lot of comments of people asking for me to fix those recipes. I don't like that word fix. I don't think there's anything wrong with your recipes. Some of them are just bad. So we're gonna make some minor tweaks to these recipes. We're not gonna fancify them or turn them into white napkin Michelin-starred bullshit. We're gonna keep the original spirit of the recipe, but make some tweaks to make them good. And we're gonna be joined by a very special guest for no reason other than to take a couple of these dishes off my hands. So buckle up and just buckle up. It's not the 80s anymore. You should be buckling your seatbelt at this point. I have no respect for you if I get in the car and I see that strap behind you. What are you, 12? So buckle up and let's do this thing. This episode is sponsored by Thrive Market. Thrive Market is the place to get your groceries online, saving you time and money by delivering what you need straight to your door. From pantry staples to hard-to-find ingredients, all of their products are high quality, 100% non-GMO, and safe from over 1,000 restricted ingredients. With filters for over 90 different specialized diets like paleo, vegan, and more, it's also easy for me to find exactly what I need for episodes and my personal diet at home. Join today by visiting thrivemarket.com/bingingwithbabish and get 30% off your first order plus a free gift worth up to $60 in value. The link is in the video description. First up, we have My Delicacy by The Fair Player 2254. This was a goo made from peanut butter and maple syrup and sugar and nutmeg that was cooked into a goo and eaten. Okay. Yeah. What is this? What is this? It feels like I'm eating a dog treat of some kind. Like this feels like a dog's birthday cake, you know? It's one of the meaner things I've ever said. And I meant this like, this is a gourmet treat that came from a dog bakery. That's all. It's not that bad. But for human consumption, I was thinking that this bears a resemblance to one of my very favorite sweets, Buckeyes. Buckeyes are, I think, a very 90s snack. That just might just be because I had it when I was a kid. And what they are is basically like almost a faux peanut butter fudge that's rolled into a ball and dipped in chocolate. That's all there is to it. And it's delicious and fantastic, and I wish that I could feed one to you right now with my hand, like a dog. So I'm gonna make Buckeyes with a little bit of maple, a little bit of nutmeg, see how that goes. It's probably gonna be a fun kind of twist on the original formula. Let's see what happens. This comes together quite simply, and we're gonna start by beating together this peanut butter, half a cup of smooth peanut butter. If I were in the privacy of my home and nobody were watching, I'd probably use chunky peanut butter. Those Buckeyes from my childhood that I was just espousing, I think they might have put puffed rice in there or something because there was this little crunch, and I've been chasing that dragon since then. 1.5, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now we're gonna whip these together until they are whipped. All right. So now we need to turn it into a sort of a pseudo fudge. The original recipe had maple syrup in it, and this was cooked. Was this cooked?
I believe so.
At 2 tablespoons of maple sugar instead of maple syrup because I don't want to thin out this mixture any more than it already is. It's about 1 cup of the sugar. So I'm gonna add a little salt, maybe like a half teaspoon. A little bit of freshly grated nutmeg in this, which seems a little odd, but you know, I love nutmeg. What am I? I'm trying to find things to complain about. You know, this already looks to be a really nice rollable consistency. All right, let's see what we're at. Well, that's delicious. The maple's like almost imperceptible though, so I'm gonna add some more of that, and I'm gonna add some more sugar to firm it up a bit. I'm just gonna add the rest of this. What's it gonna be too sweet? There's no such thing. All right, that's right where I wanna live because it's not sticking to the sides of the bowl anymore, which means it's not gonna stick to my hands. Boop, boop, boop. Which means I can mold it, taste it. It's got the consistency of like almost Play-Doh. Spectacular. It's very sweet peanut butter. The maple sugar did not dissolve into the peanut butter, so it's crunchy. It's got a nice crunch to it, which is fantastic. All right, so this is gonna take me a few minutes. And once these are all rolled up, we're gonna stick some toothpicks in there, put them in the freezer, and we're gonna dip them in melted chocolate. So I think we're in for a good time with this one. All right, so now we gotta melt our chocolate. So I have dark chocolate chips here that I'm gonna melt with like a teaspoon or two of coconut oil, which basically turns this into magic shell or candy melts, which is chocolate you don't have to temper, you can coat stuff with it, and it solidifies much more easily. So I'm just gonna melt this guy up and then I'm gonna start dipping, brother. So the whole deal with Buckeyes is you kind of just drop them in the chocolate like this, and then you just sort of splash the chocolate up onto them. Let the excess drip off, and plop them right back down where God made them. God, in this case, being me. Oh, I love Buckeyes so freaking much, Steve. This is my religion. Okay, there we go. They're all dipped. You can see that some of the first ones I started with are getting a little dull. They're setting up. I'm inclined to put them in the fridge to accelerate that process, but that could potentially bloom the chocolate and make it swirly, which I don't want. So I'm gonna let them sit out for a little bit. Hopefully they'll set up of their own accord, but if not, we'll throw them in the fridge. All right, we got ourselves some Buckeyes. Look out, Ohio State? Yeah. As you can see, they look just like Buckeyes, and this chocolate's nice and set. Yeah, it's good. The filling has that crunch that dragon I've been chasing because it has that big chunky maple sugar in it. I have to be honest and say, I'm not perceiving the maple sugar. I don't taste it. It's very, very sweet because it's like almost 50-50 sugar and peanut butter. I think I taste the nutmeg, but barely. I think if you quizzed me like what flavors are in here, I'd be like peanut butter and chocolate. Next question, please. If they were chilled, they'd be even better because they're a little soft. I don't know if this counts. Seems very far removed from the original, but it's what I thought of when I had the original, and now I have the real thing in front of me, so I won. I came out on top. I don't know, do with this information what you will. Next up, I'm gonna do salt chocolate grapes from Dusty Lion Ruck. And these were just grapes dipped in dark chocolate with salt. And sounds great on paper, but grapes with, especially with dark chocolate, tastes like dirt. It's kind of like making a s'more with dark chocolate. It doesn't taste right. So I want to try it with milk chocolate, and I'm gonna try it with white chocolate. And I'm gonna try it with both purple and green grapes. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna sprinkle with just a little bit of kosher salt per the instructions. Salty grapes, good. Salty chocolate, good. Everyone knows this, the old nursery rhyme. Let's see if it works any better with milk and white chocolate instead of dark. I'm gonna start with the red grapes. I think I like it. Can't decide if I really do because, frankly, the chocolate, it must be this grape because it just cancels out the flavor of this grape. Like this grape has no flavor whatsoever. I'm only tasting chocolate. Maybe the green grape is the way to go because that's probably gonna have a more assertive flavor. There it is. There it is. Green grapes with milk chocolate, a little bit of salt. That's a winning combo. I like this. All right, now let's try the white chocolate, see if this was a success or a mess. Red grapes have no flavor or something? I only taste white chocolate again. I think the flavors work well, so let's see if the green does any better. Not bad. And because this chocolate is set and snappy, you taste the grape first because when you bite into it, you've got unmelted chocolate, you taste the grape, and then the chocolate melts, you taste the chocolate, so you get this like 1-2 stage system. This is probably because I'm not the biggest white chocolate fan in the world. I'm not as crazy about this one, but the flavor of white chocolate goes together with green grapes or red grapes way better than dark chocolate. I think no matter what chocolate you're choosing, if you go milk or white, it's actually gonna work pretty well. Dusty Lichen Rock. Great idea, and it might just be a preference thing, but I'm all about the milk and the white chocolate on the grapes. It's a cool, innovative idea for like a little dessert snack. I don't know, I dig it. So now one of my more favorite submissions was the Poor Man's Pad Thai from X-Katybug. Just peanut butter toast with chili crisp on it, and it kind of read as Pad Thai a little bit. I especially liked it with a squeeze of lime on there. They said to add some tagine if you want a little bit of heat. I thought a fun way to upgrade this would be to make some chili crisp because it's so catastrophically easy. We're gonna do like a what's in the fridge kind of chili crisp because we have some of the spices, but not all the super traditional ones. We're gonna add peanuts to it, which is different. And we have these serrano chilies. It's what we have, they're spicy, and it sounds like it's gonna be good. I'm just gonna finely mince this chili. We gotta put all this stuff in a very heat-proof bowl because we're gonna pour hot oil in there. So in addition to the chili, I'm also gonna do some fresh shallot and some fresh garlic as well. Some peanuts, quarter cup of peanuts. So now we have a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flake, just bring a little bit more heat. And it's not chili crisp. Well, I mean, I guess it is, but it's not, no, you know what, no, it's not. With that Szechuan peppercorns. So I'm just crushing those up a little bit. I think you can see they're still pretty chunky. I just don't want whole peppercorns. And now we have some vegetable oil heated to rather high temperature. Look at it go. Nothing's burning, question mark? Nope, those are just the Szechuan peppercorns. No, that looks good. That does smell quite good. Again, this is not traditional chili crisp. This is something different. If you want to make real chili crisp, which I have made videos for, if you want to find out how, click the link in the upper right-hand corner right now. All right, I have here a piece of toasted bread. Not gonna go too crazy with the peanut butter either because this is mostly gonna be a chili crisp catcher. This chili crisp is still pretty toasty, but that's okay. It's going on toast now. All right, well, it looks, you know, lively. Man, that's good. Nice and spicy. Distinctly peanutty. It's really good. I mean, the original was really good. I think I gave it a 7 because it was such a simple, innovative snack where you're taking 2 condiments and putting them together in ways not yet dreamed of by man's wildest. But this, I think that this is definitely an upgrade. I mean, it's homemade chili crisp. Its flavors coming from a couple different cuisines here. It does read Thai, especially with a squeeze of lime. I think a little salt too would do it. This is a great snack. I think, just like everything we've ever done, we've succeeded here. All right, so I feel like not doing this anymore. I'm gonna take a break, and I'm lucky enough to have the one and only Nick DiGiovanni here helping me out. There's no handshakes with this guy. We're on a pit to shoulder basis. Thank you so much for coming through, man.
I'm so happy to be here. This is my first time here.
Really happy to have you, and I'm really excited to see what you do with these dishes. You're tackling taco mac and heat by Garuda Song.
Garuda Song.
I'm excited to see what you're gonna do with it, and I think, because I miss being behind the camera, I'm gonna jump behind this camera and just interact with you from there.
That sounds amazing.
And if you get lonely, I'll come back out here and
I'll be fine.
Okay.
So first I'm gonna take the taco mac and heat and I'm gonna turn it into a mac and cheese crunch wrap supreme. The original recipe, it was too spicy and it used a store-bought hard shell taco, which we all know are stale every time.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm gonna fry my own hard taco shell and then I'm gonna tone down the heat just a little bit. And of course we need a lot of cheese.
Indeed. Yeah, you seeing this? Yeah. Oh.
I'll go in with just a tiny touch of olive oil. The meat's already gonna have plenty of oil. Beef into the pan. I like the oil very hot when I first start making my taco meat because I like to get that nice golden brown caramelization on at least one clean side of the beef. Right away, a nice pinch of salt. And of course, this pepper cannon, which Andrew actually gave me as a gift the first time he ever came to my kitchen. And it's now one of my prized possessions. So once that seems like it has a nice crust, I'll flip it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna toast off some of these chili flakes in the extra little bit of pooled oil that's around the edges here. A little bit of chili powder as well. I'll go over everything with my garlic powder. Same thing with my onion powder. A little bit of cumin. I basically kind of made a homemade taco seasoning here.
Would you recommend making your own taco seasoning or would you just buy it?
I think you can buy taco seasoning. I think it's, you distracted me and I'm burning something now.
Sorry, okay, I'm gonna
Coriander. Look at that, I'm burning everything. Now scrape, and hopefully,
Oh, sorry, perfect.
You totally distracted me. Look at that, that's nice at least. I wanted more of that.
Oh yeah. Where are we, a Michelin-starred restaurant?
Now, this is already basically done. I'm going to place this off to the side and just pour that in there to let all the juice and everything come together here while we do the rest of our steps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you feel that?
Yep.
You feel that?
No, I'm just coughing.
A little bit of chili powder in the air, huh?
Woo.
Only need a little bit of oil, not much. I should make my mac and cheese. This is important. Okay, let's just salt our water. Most people, I don't think, salt their water at all when they're cooking macaroni and cheese, but I do. And then what I'll do is I'll control the amount of that cheesy seasoning that I put in there. Or I'm gonna put a little bit of the cheese just to really tie it all together.
Yeah, buddy.
Into my meat, okay? What's nice about this is that it's kind of tying all of the flavors together in the final crunch wrap. Oh, that smells incredible. We're getting pretty close on the oil. I would like a few more shimmers ideally, but nope, we're good. Okay. Now let's just let that go. We need to get it nice and golden. It's gonna puff up. It's gonna puff up, but that's okay. This looks really, really nice. Okay.
It does, yeah.
I will toss it off. We should be good with that. Why don't I just make one more, just in case it's any flatter. All right, come on. Go down.
All right, this happens to lots of guys.
And immediately, I will hit both of those with just a touch of salt. Pasta water. Is it boiling? Not really.
Oh, that's got to be the coldest pasta water I've seen pasta put into.
You think so?
It must be.
So I'm gonna fry off some rosemary while we wait, because why not put some rosemary in this crunch wrap? And I love crispy fried rosemary, because we are elevating this recipe and maybe it'll be the best crunch wrap we've ever tasted in our lives. Okay, our macaroni done. And then to finish this off, a little bit of milk, some of this mac and cheesy goodness. We'll finish this off with a little bit of smoked Gouda, which I think is gonna totally change the game here. When have you ever had Annie's mac and cheese with smoked Gouda? I'm not even gonna taste it because I already know that it's good. I'm gonna have you taste it. Try this.
Thank you. Pasta's cooked perfectly, first of all. I think maybe starting it in cooler water is actually a move, because it tastes really evenly cooked.
Yeah, it's slowly.
And it becomes like potatoes.
Same way someone would soak rice for a while before actually cooking it. We have all our ingredients here. Everything's ready to go. You usually want to go down with your crunch. It's important how you actually assemble it, because onto the crunch I'm going to go with my beef, because I want that to be closer to the outside so that it can be really nice and cheesy when we cook it. In the middle, I'm going to go with my crispy rosemary, which you can just hear me crunch over the top of that. The mac. Got to make sure this thing isn't too tall. That's the key also. And some of this classic American, which will go right in the middle here. We have some cheddar. And then finally, kind of need to make a sort of a strip that goes in the middle. So this I can just tear by hand. Then fold. Once we folded it all the way, carefully hold the bottom and bring it over to your pan. Tiny bit of vegetable oil, mainly into the center of the pan. Flame on medium, medium-low. We don't want to burn it right away. And then press it down onto the oil. You'll hear a little bit of a sizzle, and this is when we're gonna seal the crunch wrap. This is the part where you just gotta be careful, because if you burn it after you do all that work, it's kind of a bummer. Okay, let's try to flip, because I see some smoke, which makes me think that our crunch wrap is...
Oh, baby.
Oh my gosh. This is unreal.
Wow.
It's the best thing I've ever made in my life.
Yes.
There it is. We should cut it open.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Ta-da. Smell that.
Oh, dude.
Come on.
I can smell the rosemary too. It makes sense. It works with that smoked Gouda.
Hot sauce.
Gosh, oh my God.
Wow. I'm ready for this crunch right here.
Don't even worry about this.
Best thing I've had in 2025 so far, probably.
Well done, dude. This is incredible. It's so crunchy.
Damn.
The flavors are all there. It doesn't need the hot sauce. Like, I thought for a second acid would improve it, but it doesn't need it. It's a perfect food. Perfect food stuff. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
With that, thank you so much for making that. That really made my day. I'm gonna be dreaming about that crunch wrap for a long time, and thank you for taking that one off my plate, because there's no way I could have done anything like that.
I love it here. I will come back anytime.
I love you here. Come here.
I love you here.
So those ranking your strangest recipe videos started a revolution, and that revolution was called Gator Wine. A ingenious combination of light blue Gatorade and cheap red wine. Goats Nowhere, you have my respect, you have my love, and you have me. I'm yours. So when you mix cheap red wine and light blue Gatorade together, it's kind of pretty good. I kind of want to give it a 6. I like it. I kind of very disgusting, perverse way I like it. So and I raised it to a 7, and I should have drunkenly raised it to an 8, but it's definitely not perfect, and it definitely reads like sangria. So let's turn it into sangria. Add ice. I think I'll squeeze some lime juice in there. It could definitely use some acid. So then we have some clementines. I'm gonna squeeze some of that juice in there too. I'm also gonna cut a wheel of it, because what is sangria without some impotent slices of fruit in it? Huh? Throw some apple in there. A little splash of brandy, just to make sure that it's still alcoholic. A little bit of triple sec. Give it a stir. There you have it. Let's see if it tastes like sangria. It already did, so how could it possibly not at this point? You could punch me in the face and I'd say that's sangria. So there you go. You can do this to make a real quick sangria that takes the exact same amount of time. I think we didn't improve on this. I think we disproved. We deproved. I think maybe we need to look elsewhere. Instead of improving upon Gator wine, can we see if Gatorade goes with literally any other liquor? It's 5 o'clock here. So 5:20 actually. So we're in good shape. Let's get going. Can lemon lime Gatorade stand in for sour mix and or fresh limes in making a margarita? Or as we're about to call it, a Gatorita. It sure looks like a margarita. Yeah, I mean, it looks like you made a margarita with sour mix. It's not bad.
Really?
This is like less sweet, and I don't like a sweet margarita. It's better
wow.
than sour mix.
I'm shocked. I would definitely take this
Well,
over that.
yeah, it's not a good margarita. This is a bad margarita. But I'm gonna go ahead and endorse lemon lime Gatorade. This is better than sour mix. Does it make a good margarita? No. Does it make a better margarita than sour mix? I think so, yes. We undoubtedly just added to the Gator wine conversation. So everybody here was like, that's it, we can stop. You don't need to do it. And I said, no, I'm gonna keep going. And you're gonna stay here until I'm done, Steve. Does light blue Gatorade work with anything else besides red wine? Does it work with white wine, beer, champagne, vodka, rum, gin, or tequila? We could probably count out tequila. No, we're doing tequila too. The ratio for Gator wine is 50-50, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with white wine because this sounds pretty dang. This might actually work. Is it a color?
Yeah.
Or is it an idea? No, thank you. This is too much acid. It's reading, yeah. But I'm not stopping there. Champagne. Oh! Oop. Okay, but it's got bubbles in it. It somehow tastes like both watered down champagne and watered down Gatorade in the same breath. If you focus on one, the other one goes away. If you just bought a bottle of dirt champagne, like gas station champagne, this is better than that. Wait, is this real champagne? How much was this?
Might as well.
Gator Pain gets a no. It's not bad, but I don't think either one is adding to the other, which means it's worse than one of them on their own, right? Gator beer, gear, Gator ear. Oh, oh no, oh no. Turn green, how did it turn green? Okay, so it's not bad. It kind of tastes like a shandy. No, you know what? No. With time, it became medicine. No. Okay, you know what? To make a shandy, what do? You mix lemonade concentrate with beer. What do we just happen to have? Instant shandy, as opposed to the other one, which is also instant. Yeah, it tastes like a shandy. And then normally you add vodka to that. No, you do. It's like a shandy, but this is already a little watery on its own. So you're making it kind of watery. It tastes watered down. So if you hate beer, well, add some lemon lime Gatorade. Now we're moving on to liquor. Start with vodka, that makes the most sense. Even with that little bit of vodka, it still only tastes pretty much like vodka. It is an improvement. It works, it's fine. It's Gatorade and vodka. You know what that tastes like, you're a person. Rum. This feels good. Ugh. No. Wait a minute. Maybe this is gonna make a cheater's mojito, an Ashley Madison's mojito.
Yes.
Oh, no! Woo! That tasted like the cleaning product Fabuloso. Now, gin, because gin is just vodka, wearing a pretty outfit. I did that backwards. I'm fine, I'm good. I'm fine. Yeah, this is probably not gonna be great. Oh, there's a reason you never heard the word blue botanicals before. Oh, it's lingering. Nextly and lastly, one that we really don't even really need to do, tequila. Well, no, we didn't do with the blue. What am I saying? Does tequila and blue Gatorade go together like chicken and rice? It's not bad, actually. It mostly tastes like tequila. So what does it taste like with a little bit more blue? I don't mind that. Those flavors actually kind of work together in the same way the Gatorade did. Perhaps you could make blue Gatorade. Why measure the tequila? I just poured in an arbitrary amount of Gatorade. Who cares? Nothing matters. I'm gonna do triple sec too. Might as well go most of the way. Oh, okay. As if there weren't enough salt in Gatorade already. Okay, I think this might be a good thing. I can't taste the tequila. I can't taste the water. Am I out of my mind? Hang on. It tastes like something, but barely. It hardly tastes like anything. What does it need more of? More blue? More both? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it does. Maybe it got too watered down. Making a king size one. This is a family size margarita. I barely taste that. The salt is so much more powerful. I could drink that like water. That tastes like nothing.
Wow.
It's
perfectly contours around the liquor.
This is not a Gatorade. This was a Gatorade. This is Gator. Terrifying. I wish that we didn't publish this. I wish you weren't watching, because if you're watching it right now, it means we put it out. It means we've ruined a generation, frankly. I've seen the color of death, and it is a very pale blue. It's bananas. That shouldn't exist. Careful. Careful. Tread lightly. But don't stop. So I'm not gonna stop. So now, from night to night, we have Garamond pizza. I've never seen Garamond cheese before in my life. Apparently it's similar to a brie. And then they also put creme fraiche and Gouda with a big gob of cranberry jam on there. So I wasn't a big fan, but I do love quick bar pizza, which you can make by just throwing a tortilla in a frying pan, getting it crisp on the bottom, and throwing some cheese and toppings on top. So I'm going to try and make a solid, just a better base for this pizza. And I'm just gonna remove some of the goo that was on top and try to keep the spirit of it. First things first, tortillas. These are incredible. Vista Hermosa. If you do have a selection of tortillas in your local grocer, look for something that looks like this. It's almost translucent. It is translucent. You can see my hand through it. You see my hand through it? How many fingers am I holding up?
3.
I rest my case. These guys, they cook up so crisp. They are flaky. They have layers to them. This is gonna make for a really light, flaky pizza base. So I wanna try to keep this close enough to the original. I'm thinking that if I combine the creme fraiche and the cranberry jam, I might make a sort of condiment. Oh, isn't that inviting? Isn't that inviting to look at? I like that. If it doesn't work, then I won't use it. And I'm gonna shred some of this Gouda, which is the proper pronunciation of Gouda. I'm gonna toast this a little bit on both sides, mostly on the bottom, not so much on the top, because I do want it to have flexibility. You know what I'm about to do, right? Fold it in half. Let's try that again. Batman. What? I'm gonna put down the ham first so that the cheese holds it in place. There we go. I'm pretty sure that Kendall prepared this in the microwave when she made it, hence its terrible texture. A little bit of water around the outside just to generate a little steam. Cover it up, let it go. Okay, there is our tortilla. I just came up with that. I'm gonna cut it into 6 pieces. And I feel like this is gonna look ridiculous. And I'm right. I'm not gonna use that mix. Instead, hit each slice with a little dollop, maybe like a cluster of cranberries. There that is, I guess. Oh, but look at the, oh, okay. See, how high can you fly? Wow, that was good for me. Was it good for you? Well, that was a delicious first bite. Let's see what happens when we get to the creme fraiche and the cranberry. It's good. I mean, we didn't really improve on the flavor, just textures. It's less gooey. By frying the tortilla in a pan, we got these nice crispy cheese edges, and we got a nice crispy, you know, lovely bottom, so it's actually like nice to eat instead of a nightmare. So I think I don't mind it is enough of improvement. I'm calling this done. Quesadilla was an intriguing, if upsetting, combination of chocolate, peanut butter, and mozzarella in a quesadilla form factor served cold. Deluxe J69. Something they clearly do a lot if they put it in their screen name, they must. And in their notes, they said, I've never tried cooking it, but that might be interesting. You mean to tell me you've never been like, should I heat this? No. I want to do a taquito form factor. I think it's going to give us a little bit more balance per bite. It's not going to be so gross. So I got my peanut butter down, I'm going a relatively thin layer. Again, I don't want to overwhelm, I just want to whelm. I'm going to drizzle some of this melted Girardelli chocolate. I want to add enough so that the peanut butter and chocolate overpowers the mozzarella, and I'm not like, oh, this is cheese with a little bit of weird stuff. Instead, it's going to be weird stuff with a little bit of cheese. Or wait, I'm going to spread that around, even though I don't need to. I have some full fat, low moisture mozzarella that I've cut into rods, shafts. I want them to be in the center of the taquito. So I'm starting them back here. You just go like this, and boom. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pan fry this until the cheese is melted. And probably gonna experience some cheese leakage out the sides. So if I have to do this again, it might be just with less cheese. I should probably have used less cheese. If you know a better way to learn the right amount of cheese for risotto, I'm listening. I'm gonna cover it up too, trap a little bit of that heat. I'll see you on the other side of the big risotto in the sky. Fried it up tight. Let's see if I got her flaky. Or not flaky, melty. I did get her flaky for sure, for sure. Ooh, that looks like the right amount of cheese. I can't think of any other way to find out. Fascinating. It's the only word for it. If you wanted to achieve this level of gooiness with just chocolate and peanut butter, you have to have way too much chocolate and peanut butter. And then you're like, why is it even in a tortilla? But this adds all that gooiness with none of the extra sugar or sweet. In fact, it's only adding fat. That works. That's a dessert taquito, and it's not too sweet, and it's super gooey, and it just tastes like chocolate and peanut butter. I mean, look at that. That doesn't look bad, does it? I don't know, if you're craving these weird textures and you like chocolate and peanut butter, you could do a whole lot worse. But now I'm gonna make an authentic Mexican risotto just like your abuelita used to make. In lieu of chocolate, use some Mexican stone ground chocolate. This chocolate is very coarsely ground and it's lightly spiced usually. It's got a little cinnamon in it. Let's see if this one does. No. I'm gonna add some cinnamon, some chopped peanuts instead of peanut butter. For cheese, I'm gonna go for the Mexican version of mozzarella, which is Oaxaca. Again, just to make this as respectful as possible. See, here's the thing. I came up with this in anticipation of what I just made being bad. Bad news, it was good. So now, I genuinely believe this is going to be worse. This is going to be markedly worse. So Oaxaca, you'll find, it looks like a ball, but it's not. It hides a filthy secret. It's not a ball at all, it's a snake. I think this could be an improvement in another way. I'm tearing this up into cheese strings, and what that enables me to do is spread it evenly across the quesadilla, then roll it. Maybe less of it'll squoosh out, and maybe it'll be more evenly distributed throughout, so it won't be just this in the center. I think I have to put a very thin layer of peanut butter down because there's nothing to hold it together. So I'm gonna put an extremely thin layer. Now I've got the Mexican chocolate. I'm gonna do a fair amount of it, that much. Cinnamon, chopped peanuts, and now I'm just gonna put this cheese around, and I'm hoping that this distribution throughout is going to create a better end user experience. All right, time to fry. All right, say it once more, an authentic Mexican risotto. That looks promising. I like it for different reasons. I think we have some improvements here, some detractions. It needs more chocolate and more peanut butter, so I think you could just use chunky peanut butter in a normal spread the way we just did if you wanted to, make it easier. Shredding the cheese, sprinkling it throughout, whether you do Oaxaca like that where you're tearing it or if you just shredded mozz, it's better because it's not squishing out the back as hard. I can squeeze it and yes, a little bit is swishing out, but it's so evenly distributed that it's staying where it is. That's an improvement. If you did my first method and the only change that you made was you shredded the mozz and you sprinkled it over and then rolled it up so you don't have a bar in the center, I think that's the apex predator. Wow, I love it. I love what we've done here today, you guys. This would do well if it were like a street snack. If you could buy one of these on the street as a snack. Next and last, we have midnight snack of a broke student. When we tried this, I didn't mind it because it was mostly hoisin. Kendall had put mozzarella cheese in there, but not enough. And I don't think you could have enough. So hoisin's a very strong sauce, and I don't think that mozz is ever gonna stand up to it, and I don't think it's gonna go well with most any other cheese that has a flavor. So I don't wanna stray too far from Toffee JC's original intention. I'm gonna incorporate some fresh vegetables here, but stuff that we had kicking around. I mean, look at this freaking green pepper. Does that look like we just bought this? I hope not. This is more like you graduated college, you just moved into your first apartment with all your new older roommates, and now you got some veggies in the fridge that you can steal instead of just rice wrappers. What's in the fridge? Spring rolls. That's what we're doing here. So usually spring rolls might have cabbage in them, carrots, stuff like that. What is a Brussels sprout? Well, it's just a tiny little head of cabbage. See that? Did you realize? Did you know this? That's true, right? So I'm just gonna slice this real thin. You've got functionally the same as cabbage, making use of what's in the fridge. Then we got some carrots, and I'm just gonna shave this guy. Just gonna shave this guy. There we go, we got some nice thin shavings of carrot. Then we got scallions. Going to slice them on the bias into rings, that's fine. And a little green pepper. We'll see how salvageable this is. A good indicator is the color of its seeds. If they're starting to darken, if they're turning black. No mold, the seeds are still pretty nice and bright, so I think that we're in good shape. I'm gonna thinly slice the pepper again, because we want some crunch here, but we don't want things to be chunky or anything like that. I have some warm water over here, into which I'm going to inter this rice paper for 15 minutes, let it soften, start assembling this thing. Wow, what a spooky thing it is. I've never rolled a spring roll before, probably doesn't take any knowledge practice. We mustn't forget the hoisin. Obviously, that's the impetus for this entire recipe. Right. Wrap. Let's get about halfway. You tuck those suckers in. There we go. We have a spring roll adjacent object. First attempt, second attempt. Practice makes slight improvement. Seam side down first, seal them shut. Frying this kind of medium low. Not only is there a lot of water here that needs to evaporate before it can brown, it's going to let me fry it longer, which is gonna allow the heat to radiate into and throughout the spring roll so we don't have a cold center. If we just hit this real hot, get it crisped up on both sides, middle's cold. So sometimes ripping hot heat is not what the doctor ordered. All right, fine, I'll do one with meat, fine. You wore me down. Let me get one of these little Bavarian hot dogs. That's gonna be bizarre. hoisin, Bavarian sausage, cabbage, carrot, pepper, and scallions. Rap-a-dappa, rap-a-dappa-doo. I'm gonna fry these up. We'll see you back over there. That's cute. Steve, that's cute. You can reset back at A, back at 1. You hear me?
What's that?
So these are kind of hybrid between a summer roll and a spring roll. They're not deep fried, but they're not fried. And already, don't like them. They feel just kind of floppy and ineffectual. Tastes good, but they're floppy and greasy. Probably greasy because, like I said, I low temperature fried them. This one kept its shape a little bit, but only because it has a sausage in there. I should see what this tastes like though. My mouth is like, what are you eating, dude? What cuisine? Where are you? What are you doing? I don't have eyes in my mouth. You know how you take a spring roll and you dip it in pizza sauce? This doesn't taste like pizza sauce. That's the vibe though. It's just like, this is something from another thing. I'm gonna try one more because I wanna see if I pan fry it, if it will keep its shape and if it won't be so greasy and if it'll be any good at all. Oh, it's a incredible looking and feeling texture, like it's glassy. See all the tiny little micro bubbles there? Well, that's fantastic. That works. Vegetables are hotter and more cooked in this than they are in that. Like these carrots are soft. And the wrapper is like glassy. It's so thin, but still has that chew to it. Definitely like it more than the mozzarella and hoisin on its own. Definitely better than that. But is it worth making? I don't think so. I'd rather just have a normal spring roll or a normal summer roll. Improvement, but not recommended. Kind of like, what's a movie sequel that was better than the original but still not good? Oh, no. The White House Down movies? Is it? No. You could almost say Star Wars because like the new movies were an improvement on the prequels, but that's getting convoluted. And as soon as he realizes it, he starts psychotically scream laughing. Let's compare Rotten Tomatoes scores for grown-ups. Are there any other Marvel movies that were that way? No, the worst ones were Thor. Aww. Oh my God, I did it. Guys, I did it.
What, you found it?
I found it. Fantastic Four versus Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, which experienced a 10-point bump from 27 to 37% on Rotten Tomatoes. That was better than sex. The real Fantastic Four versus Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer situation. An improvement on the original, to be sure, but still not recommendable. Most of the dishes we worked on today were a real Captain America Winter Soldier, in that they were a massive improvement upon the original. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment below. What do you want to see me rank next? Which recipes from your Strangest Recipes do you want to see me improve upon? Do you want to see more of this kind of content? What's going on with you? And what is your star sign? And what does that mean for me? Thanks again to Thrive Market for sponsoring today's video. Thrive Market makes it easier than ever to fuel your best self with healthy swaps, low sugar and high protein ingredients, and sustainable products that you can feel confident putting into your body. Plus, orders over $49 from Thrive Market ship free, making it as easy as the click of a button to restock your pantry without the hassle of taking time out of your busy day to go to the store. Head to the link in the description, thrivemarket.com/bingingwithbabish to sign up today and get 30% off your first order and a free gift.